Hello, welcome back. Last time I had a spectacular puzzle, which was completely impossible for the first half hour that I looked at it. But then somehow something happened. Somehow. Anyway, so final puzzle in the game. Will this be easy victory lap, or ultimate challenge, or just a normal puzzle? Probably one of the three. Crown, better than hat. Okay. I think I understand the sort of clue you might be giving me. Alright. Really tall, but not a huge amount of elements. This is incredibly suspicious. What a huge restricted pit. Okay, but yeah, like the number of elements is not overwhelmingly large. What am I even trying to do here? This is a little unpleasant to look at initially, just with the super bright background and, you know, taking up most of the screen. So who's hard to reach? You? Yeah, you. Let's touch stuff. Okay, so I can go. Also a little hard to touch these. How? What? I guess I have to broadcast in there. I guess. Are you sure? I'm not. Alright, am I seeing that I could maybe just... Oh, I can't get back in there. Okay, well, I can't just. It'll take a little more. There's a ball to throw. Alright, well, I touched a bunch of stuff, so these two turn out to be the most out of reach. Got it. So, access to those necessarily involves me going in here. I can take up to 2 blocks of space with me as I go through, or I guess a broadcast could go in my place. This will anchor itself there, no longer moving to the right. This one can just be pushed into with broadcast something something. Let's see, so when I push this over here... it ends up in such a way that only one of these 2 blocks, when I have the other one still alive, can actually touch that. I don't think I have any other options, really. Alright, so one of the broadcast blocks, while the other is alive, touches this. Crown. Okay, I'm looking at these two and the space I'm standing in and thinking what you're saying is I want both of these individually stacked on my head here. So how would that look? So let's say I could somehow get myself into a state where these two are on my head right here. I boost them up. We go through there. Pow, pow. Yeah, okay. That's probably what it's going to be. How the heck do you expect that to ever happen? I think I see how I could theoretically get one. Well. Oh, No, not quite what I was thinking. I'm looking at like these 2 spaces and imagining, you know, broadcast here and here, gravity here and here, but then nobody would push the broadcast and then they'd be jamming this work up. Like, yeah, I'd be down there moving to the right and those would have no reason to move. Unless, like, I made more of them, I guess. There's all this business over here. I'm sure that's for something. There's this thing. I'm sure that's for something. So the other way to have a gravity block on my head is to have them parked on something and then push that something out of the way. Like, say, this. For example, okay, they're on my head now. So something like that could be involved. Oh, I start in here, I see. Alright, so I think I've spotted the central mechanism of the puzzle. This also exists. It could be involved. I only need 2, though. I don't need a 3rd. So, let's picture what it might take to get these on my head in this column. How much horizontality do I have? Not that much, really. I wonder what this is for. I got a lot of minuses to carve things up. A weird amount of restriction here. I'm imagining, like, if I could elongate this thing enough. Well, that did the opposite of elongation. And have the falling dudes on it, then just push it out of there. So to prop that on stable ground, I'd need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide. You know, get rid of this. There is no way for me to get that much width. Okay, so that way is not happening. Sure. Alright, other options. So either I'm here and they get pushed onto my head, which I think is the more likely of the two, or they're already here somewhere, propped up, and I push the prop out of the way and replace it. I think that's the less likely option. Could there be something where I carry... No, there's not enough space to carry. Like, I can't set up some stack of things on my head, then move in here with them intact and up, because there's only up to 2 spaces vertically for me to go here. I mean, I could get one that way, and, well, how would the other come to me? It wouldn't. Okay, so... I wonder why it's necessary to have this pit here so enormous. There's probably a reason. So what's all this business? I have no idea. And I don't really have a job for these other than eventually touching that. And I have no job for this or this. Or, well, no, these two go in my head. This one is a gating mechanism, but I can also get it out. Kind of. I can get it out. It would consume that and then break into... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so here's like a half and half solution. So imagine if I could park this right here with a broadcast block right there and another one right there. And I could stack this on my head in some way that somehow maintains it as I move left. I guess the broadcast other block would be there. So I'd move into that. The one would stay on my head somehow. This one would get pushed down onto my head, so that's a way I could carry one and get the other one onto me. Thing is, that's not a way I can do that, though, because I wouldn't have a way to keep the one on my head. Now, I could keep one on my head by... Let's see, will this be set upable? It might be. Well, that's going to disrupt things, but I think that's okay. Alright, stuff's inconvenient. But I mean, we've done things like this before. So what I would want to do is get these closer together and like down one more, or not. There, okay, see, so that's on my head now. I can't go down with it. Unless, like, that thing was already gone. Okay, so... just, like, for speculation here. Shoot. Oops, other way. Well, kinda, sure, whatever. Doesn't matter. Eh. Things went wrong. Oh, okay, so I can't mount like that. Because that's a double push that takes the thing off of where it would be on my head. Of course it is. So I would have to come up into there to... Alright, got it. Sure? No, not really. Well, maybe I... Okay, kinda. There we go. So there's a half carry. Okay, I got one. So I guess I can at least look at this in action. Yeah, pow, and I just need a second. Sure. And there's conspicuously exactly enough room for that. So that's what I'm doing. Getting one's not so hard. And let's check something. Whoa. From here, do I still have a route to victory otherwise? Like, can I touch every goal object except the other minus down there that I need the second one of these for? Or do I have other problems I'm not seeing? Don't think I have any other problems I'm not seeing. I need to split these. Alright, and that's sufficient for touching you. Okay, sure. And yeah, I have lost access to this section. So yeah, the central mechanism in here is two things on my head. Why momentum? Like, oh, for probably crossing large gaps, I would say. Like, say, if I would... Alright, so moving the ball around might be a pain. But let's say I would do this. Sure, I mean, that on its own is enough. How would I get the ball where I want? With blocks I don't have anymore. I imagine there's a purpose for, like, all that business. I don't know what it is. Shouldn't be hard to extract this without, like, anything extra. It's not. I pretty much have it. Okay. Sure. Not a problem at all. My shape is wrong, but I can fix it. Here, let me just... do some of that. Okay, ball is where I wanted. And now I need you back out of there. Can I do that? No, not really. Okay. What if I'm the other way around? That's better. Is it? Maybe if this is out of here first. Sure. I'm making a mess. I'm not using most of the elements here. I just want to see some stuff. Okay, so I'm not sure what good that would ever do me. I don't know why I wanted to do that so much. However, let's do some more what-ifs. I'm going to need more vertical split than I think I know how to get. I can improvise something like that, sure. Whoa, a little farther over. Here, you can just go there. Gonna need more horizontal. You, out of the way. You're not involved. You probably will be, but you're not yet. You can probably clearly see what I'm trying to do here. Oops, not that. Alright, well that's not really close to anything. So that's one, but how do you get two? Like, what's even a theoretical way to get two? It's like I need to make one leftward push that makes two leftward pushes elsewhere on my behalf. Is there any way I could simulate... Okay, let's try something. So I want to pull that pin out of there. Replace it with this. And that's about as far ahead as I've thought. Because now I'm imagining something involving that landing there. Like if I have you already parked in this space, and I push this left, and the other one is there with the ball. I guess what I'm wondering is, would pushing the broadcast block... Oh no, I would need a third broadcast block for that. Do I think I could make that happen? Like, my only plus is this big column. Like, I'm wondering if this thing would end up falling before the ball carried everything across, and like, that would land on my head, then the other one would get carried, put the broadcast in there, and the other one would land on my head. It's a little hard to set that up to test it. Largely because of this thing right here. That prevents me from manufacturing more broadcasts, doesn't it? I think that might be its purpose. I just end up with gravity instead. I think there's little to nothing I can do about that. Yeah, that's pretty strongly guarding against more broadcast blocks. Okay, fair. I see how that could easily break the puzzle if I had it. But, like, these gotta be here for a reason. So it makes a big tall column, then breaks it down into a 1x1, a 1x5, and a 1x1. You exist. And there's a big pit down here and a long bar there. Like, yeah, this is the point at which I just need to invent a machine that will somehow work, but it's hard to think about. Boy, yeah, I wish, like, the relevant puzzle space, you know, this, could take up more than a fourth of my screen here. It's less than a fourth, looking at it now. It's like a seventh or something. Okay, so... This is kind of the one insertion point I have, unless I'm somehow broadcasting to the right. Let's see, there's no way I could make a move to the right, turn into a ball throwing to the left, and have like one push down there and the other push in here. I still don't know what it would mean to have Is there a way I could set up to test what I want to test? Like one thing pushes a gravity block through a narrow space with some room to fall, then there's some travel time on the momentum block. Like when one of these is already falling, and then with some travel time, a ball is being thrown pushing another. Does the one fall before the ball hits it? I don't think so. I think they would collide here and then fall as a unit of two, rather than this one falling and then this one landing on top of it. But I don't know. Given the timing requirements for welding together, like as seen in Odyssey, it's plausible that the one would fall in that situation. Could I set this up to test somehow? Kind of. Maybe. Let's see. How would... I don't know. I don't know. And then I get 2 extra ones of these here. Like, that's so weird to me. What else might I want to make larger? You, maybe? Have more balls? Oops. I just don't know what shape I want for anything. That seems completely unhelpful. Seems? What if it's not? Like, what kind of shenanigans could I pull with you? Oh, that's interesting, actually. Alright, a new idea has entered my mind. If I enlarge the ball, split it into 2 balls, make a move... Yeah. Okay, this is how I can turn one push into 2. This is cool. Yes, it would be great to make a whole pillar of momentum here. Like, I want this to land there. I can do that. After it does that, I want... So a leftward push with 1 gravity block here, and a backstop there. And the other gravity block here, with a backstop there, would end up with both of them on my head in this column. I think that's what I have to do. Okay, so from you I can construct 2 backstops of different sizes. I believe that's the correct size for this, and this is the correct size for this. It looks like it slots in nicely, so there would be a broadcast block here, and another one somewhere in here. This all bonded together with that. Neat. Now, there are problems. Several of them. Yeah, lots of problems with this, but I think it still has potential. Okay, so let me start by not breaking that down. There's just short of enough space to use it the way I want to use it here. I want it as a prop for this. Oh, there's a little more than just short. is a lot short of that. So this thing needs to go either here or here. Oh, here would be ideal. Right here. It has to go right here, because if it's down there, then it's blocked from, it's blocking me from getting in here. But if it's up there, then I still have free passage, and I can just shove it down for when I'm ready to do the operation on it. Okay, step 1, ball goes here. Got it? So if that's what I'm doing, I don't know if you are a useful shape. I'm going to break you this way. Problem is, then that stops me from breaking this down into the shapes I want. That's concerning, but I might be able to handle it. Like, I might just be able to, like, scrounge up enough pieces to get the rest together for what I need. Okay, so, like, I would do one of those, and one of these, and one of these. Okay, so you're where you need to be. I'm probably just losing that tool. Yep, there's nothing much I can do to keep it. But yeah, what this solution is going to end up looking approximately like... Oh, I'd really like to keep that thing. That seems tricky. Alright, I'm gonna have to think carefully about a lot of stuff here. Okay, so I don't need to break down my Tetris piece here for what I'm doing. I can use temporarily a part of you. So I want a 2 wide and a 3 wide. The 2 wide's going to be going up there. I think this is actually recoverable. I push it right and then I drop some stuff on it and then it's out. Yes, that's perfectly recoverable. Super fine. You will be my prop there. Okay, and I don't have to commit to actually bonding those just yet, although maybe I should. Okay, and you are part of a platform for now to be able to maintain this gravity block as it comes out. This is totally coming together. Alright, so I've liberated you, kind of. Yeah, sure. Yes, I certainly have. And actually, you are one that goes on my head. Yes, I can arrange this. No, yes, I maybe can. I think I can. So like, you'd go here. How would that come out? I'm not sure yet. I guess I have to do some remote controlling. That's fine, I can do that. Yeah, no, what's the problem with this? This is fine. That wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but close enough. Sure. Okay, so the exact offset I want with you is this one. Okay, I can... Am I done here? Did I do it already? If so, boy, that came together quick. Like, I think that's everything I need? Yo, check it, I did it. Oh, okay. Huh. Alright then. It just sort of happened. Cool. And I can get you back out, totally. No problem. Alright. Great. Final puzzle done. That was surprisingly undramatic. I need a little bit of leverage here, which I can just easily get. There we go. There we go. Puzzle done. Cool. 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 I beat the game! Alright, so I would call that pretty much just a normal puzzle. Alright, I did it! Oh, look at this! How nice! Well, just kind of haphazardly spilled out over whatever. Boy, what a cool game this was. I loved it. Oh man, that's so good. And with all this playtesting, I still somehow managed to break a couple of puzzles in here. maybe quite a few of them. It's always hard to tell, like, how much of what I'm doing is on the intended path to victory and how much is just I found some weird janky way around the mechanisms. Like, all the stuff... This game loved to have... Poop Shoes, that's your name, huh? This game loved to have real complicated mechanisms with a whole lot of moving parts. Like, just the sheer engineering effort I had to put into everything was very, I don't know what the adjective is, but, you know, I'm calling out the engineering effort I had to put in. I'm not using a word, but it was a thing that I did. And there's some clouds. And there's the title screen again. Okay, so, yeah, there were some major stumpers here. Telekinesis had the potential to be a bigger stumper than it ultimately ended up being. I'm still amazed that that actually came together. But yeah, like, this last one was a more normal puzzle. Yeah, I want to say that, like, I had been privy to some discussions about this game before I ended up playing it. It was showcased in a Discord server that I'm in, and I read a bunch of messages about it, because it looked like it was going to be my jam, and people there are real good about not putting actual spoilers and things, so it was pretty safe to read. And I want to say that there were two specific puzzles that stuck out as most people having a lot of trouble with, and they probably were Civ and Telekinesis. Those names are... I could check back in the chat log at some point to see if that holds true, but yeah, those feel like they were the tough puzzles in this entire game. But yeah, okay, so it's done. I did it! Yay! I have a custom level pack from someone on that same server that I'd like to play at some point. I think I'm not going to do it right now, but it's there as a thing that if I want to come back to and do an extra little victory lap, maybe I can. Alright, this was incredibly satisfying. I climbed up this mountain and I eventually reached the top. And it was a simple little civ that stood in my way for so long, but it got out of my way just in time. Good stuff. Alright, I'll see you next time for something else.